Hi everybody, this is Dane Hansen at Jungie Lincoln Volvo Mazda doing a real quick review on a CX-5 Carbon Turbo we have here. Apologize if there's extra background noise. We've got some construction and stuff going on, just a little extra liveliness. But this CX-5 Turbo is here in this beautiful zircon sand metallic, which is pretty cool. Gives you these black wheels as well, and this color is actually unique to the carbon trims. Another unique thing about the car is in here, gotta use the keyless entry. You'll notice it has this unique terracotta interior, which is a personal favorite of mine. Being a turbo, this thing's also pretty well loaded up. You can see it's got in here your heated and ventilated seats, and then you have the wireless charge pad up there. Super convenient. This will also have some things like wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, depending on which one you use. Gotta remember to unlock the door again. Plenty of back seat room. Cool thing with the CX-5s compared to like the 50s, I'm planning on doing a comparison video with them shortly. The center console back here in the back seat actually folds down like this, and if you push this button, press it again, you'll notice that's where they hide your charge ports, which is pretty cool. If you do happen to get a CX-5 that has heated seats, back seats, they will be located on this piece as well, which is pretty cool. Folds away just like that. Back here, we do have a power lift gate. We can do it off of the key using the third button down or off of the car right there. One touch, pretty easy. An interesting thing about the CX-5 compared to most other cars is you'll notice these back seats are actually a 40-20-40 split, whereas most do a 60-40 split. So I can lay those seats down. So I'm gonna lay down just the middle one with this handle right here. So I pull it, folds forward, and now I have a long pass-through, which is pretty handy, and you still would have room for both people, unlike in a lot of vehicles. Back here, of course, we've got some things like the all-weather floor mats from Mazda, and a cargo net, some other accessories like that. Underneath here, we have our donut spare tire. Very glad to have that. Close the lift gate, press the button, drops down. We're gonna go ahead and pop the seat back up, just like so. Lifts back into place really easy, and hop in the driver's seat. From the driver's seat, start button, just like all the other CX-5s. Now, from the driver's seat, you'll notice this looks pretty much the same as all the other CX-5s, aside from, of course, the beautiful terracotta seats. These are kind of cool because this is like a suede insert, and then this is a nice high quality Napa leather with some pretty good full grain there. You get a good feel for that. So first thing I'm going to do is turn my ventilated seat on and turn our temperature down. It is still fairly warm over here in Iowa at Cedar Rapids for us. So up here on your gauge cluster, once we get the camera to focus up, you'll notice that here in the middle, we have a digital display, tachometer on the left, temperature and fuel over here on the right. So if I push this, focus up again, info button here, just like on the CX-90 and the other Mazdas, it will toggle through the views on our center display here. Personally, I like this speedometer. It's super crisp and very easy to read. Big fan of how Mazda lays things out. Over here, this display functions the same as the ones in the CX-90 or the 50. Slightly different setup. You'll notice this dial is a slightly different size, and the layout's a little bit different. Console's a little shorter and opens straight up instead of a split. I always like to point out as well, when you're looking here in the console, you'll see this little tab right here. So now what this is for is you pop that open, like so, and an SD card slides in there, and then you have your built-in Mazda navigation. Now there is a charge for the SD card. Normally I recommend people, especially on the ones with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, I recommend that you just use that since those update more regularly and of course are free. Pretty handy there. A lot of similarities. Like I said, this is slightly different from the 5 in that it opens this way and is not quite as long. It's a little bit further back. And then as well, you'll notice this is laid out a little bit different, and this whole setup here is not quite as long. Big thing people talk about is the cup holders here have a little more height room. when compared to the 50s, because in the 50 and the 30 and some of the other models, the cup holders are up here and the charge pad is further back. So sometimes they can bump into this. Depends a little bit on what your priorities are. There's some other differences with the 50, but I wanted to talk about the 5 a little bit more. This is a turbo, so it gets a couple other things like these paddle shifters on both sides. You'll notice it still has, of course, Mazda's adaptive cruise control and your volume controls. This one, of course, has the Bose sound system, if I can get it to focus. Nice, high-quality sound system. I'm going to try and figure out a way to do some driving impressions. Let me know if that's something that would be helpful and which vehicles you'd like to see. I'm also going to try and do a breakdown on the differences between all the different levels of hybrids. So mild hybrid or non-hybrid, mild hybrid, full hybrid, plug-in, and then full electric cars. Try and help people walk through those kinds of things, and a couple other Mazda videos. Let me know what else is helpful. Again, Dane Hansen, Jungie, Lincoln, Volvo, Mazda.